Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to WWE 2K24 Universe Mode. We're heading backstage quickly. This was quick. What is this? Looks like we got Batista and Randy Orton backstage. Now, these two are supposed to be going head to head later on tonight in the King of the Ring tournament to determine who's going to head towards Crown Jewel to face Brock Lesnar. So why on earth are these guys they kind of seem like they're just chatting backstage. A little bit of a long conversation there, and Randy Orton's just walking off. Well, what is that all about? Very odd. Anyways, we got some tag team action to start off the show, and you can see we have the Bloodline here. So we're back into the WWE Tag Team tournament to determine the inaugural WWE Tag Team Champions on Friday Night Smackdown, and the Bloodline are out here. They're coming up against the Asylum here tonight. It's not going to be an easy task for the Bloodline, but Jimmy Uso, the current United States Champion, I'm sure that he would love to add another title to his arsenal. So Jimmy Uso looking pretty confident right now. Well, it seems like Jimmy Uso is almost leading the pack here tonight, whilst Roman Reigns isn't around, or at least whilst he's not in the building. Very, very confident is Jimmy Uso. Solo Sikoa and Paul Heyman by his side. I'm sure that Roman Reigns is absolutely delighted that Jimmy Uso has had an absolutely fantastic start to his Universe Mode career, but to be honest, the same thing can be said for Solo Sikoa, who has kind of gone under the radar a little bit. He's actually undefeated at the moment. He's won every single match he's been a part of. So the Bloodline are definitely looking stronger than ever, and they're looking to continue their dominance by bringing even more gold to the Bloodline and remaining in complete control of Friday Night Smackdown. So Jimmy Uso having some words with the wise man just now. Jimmy Uso definitely seeming like he's built a lot more confidence ever since he's won that United States Championship. He's been on one hell of a roll. The only loss that Jimmy Uso has suffered is to the hands of Cody Rhodes, which, I mean, not many people are able to defeat the American Nightmare. And Jimmy Uso put in one hell of a shift in that matchup. He really took Cody Rhodes to the limit. And that's pretty much why he earned his shot at the United States Championship. And then he was able to dethrone Logan Paul. Even Sami Zayn struggled against Logan Paul. However, Jimmy Uso did have the advantage of the Bloodline rules in that match. Although no one seemed to really get involved in that one, which was a little bit odd, if you ask me. I was expecting perhaps some Bloodline members and maybe even Influence to try and get themselves involved, but they didn't do so. So the Bloodline taking their time to soak in the crowd, especially Jimmy Uso. I'm sure that he's loving all the glory that he's seeing right now, all the glory that he's holding. I'm sure that Solo Sikoa probably wants some gold of his own as well, so I'm sure that he'll be wanting those tag team titles, as he probably feels a little bit left out right now, as Roman Reigns is the current Universal Champion, and then Jimmy Uso is the United States Champion, so Solo Sikoa is the only one without any gold at the moment in the Bloodline. But things could change at Crown Jewel if they're able to win here tonight and head there and be victorious and bring home those WWE Tag Team titles.
Attention citizens, this is a citywide announcement. A level 1 situation is in effect. All non-essential personnel evacuate immediately to your designated zones. Repeat, warning level 1. Evacuate now.
So the Bloodline have one hell of a challenge on their hands, coming up against the team who defeated John Cena and R-Truth. The Asylum, Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis. looking to really propel themselves onto the scene in WWE. I could imagine these two being one hell of a force to be reckoned with. So I have to wait and see whether they can topple the Bloodline. These two clearly not all there in terms of their mental state, if you will. I'm sure that's why they've called themselves the Asylum. As Joe Gacy makes his way into the ring, just soaking in the crowd. The atmosphere just completely changes every time these two men walk on out here. We've seen them twice now. This is only the second time. And it is a very strange feeling inside this stadium. So we're going to have to see who's going to head to WWE Crown Jewel this weekend. Will it be the Bloodline or will it be the Asylum? About to find out. So here we go, tag team action. Looks like Solo Sikoa and Dexter Lumis are going to start this match off. Here we go. And once again, the Titantrons are out. Not working. It seems like that is something to do with the Asylum. I'm not sure why that is, but here we are. And Dexter Lumis with a good start in this one, taking Solo Sikoa down to the mat. The problem is for the Asylum that Paul Heyman is the man on the outside of the ring. He knows when to get himself involved to potentially save the matchup for his side, for his team or his superstar. In this case, it will be his team. And Solo Sikoa is in a bit of trouble right now. Joe Gacy just slamming Solo Sikoa down to the mat. So Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis had a good showing against You Can't See the Truth. That was John Cena and R-Truth. And they'll be looking to continue that here tonight. But the Bloodline have also had a pretty good start to their universe mode. Even Solo Sikoa has had a good start to his universe mode. We haven't seen much of him, but when he has appeared, he's really taken the fight to his opponent. And I believe he's one of the very few superstars that has actually remained undefeated so far. So even Jimmy Uso has actually had one loss to his name. That loss being to Cody Rhodes though, so that's kind of understandable. Speaking of Cody Rhodes, he was wiped out by the general manager last week. Looked like he returned from injury sooner than expected and was looking to enter into the King of the Ring tournament to ensure that he could get that world title opportunity back, but Batista clearly had other ideas and he took his place against Drew McIntyre. Batista will be in action later on tonight against Randy Orton, although we did see them two backstage earlier on, which was a little bit odd, to be honest. Wonder what that was all about. They were kind of just discussing something. I'm not sure what that could be. But Dexter Lumis now taking the fight to Jimmy Uso on the outside. What a victory it would be for the Asylum if they were able to maybe even pin the United States champion. I'm sure that would put them in the title picture. That's probably not something that Roman Reigns wants the Bloodline dealing with. They got enough issues going on as it is. Thinking about Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, even Cody Rhodes when he comes back. Big right hand there by Dexter Lumis, and Solo Sikoa just shoved him away. Dexter Lumis looked a little bit surprised by the power of the Enforcer. Paul Heyman causing mischief as well. He's already brought a kendo stick into play and took off that turnbuckle pad into the cover, but not even a 1 count. The United States champion has plenty of fight left in him. Big shoulder tackle takes Jimmy Uso down to the mat. Solo Sikoa wants in on this match. He wants to be tagged in, but Jimmy Uso is in some trouble right now. Dexter Lumis is not allowing the Bloodline to have a second to breathe. Big right hands being delivered. Jimmy back to his feet. Dexter Lumis was looking for a tag there, it seemed like, with Joe Gacy. And a back body drop. Drops Dexter Lumis down to the mat. Jimmy Uso had a chance to tag out there, but he's not gone for it. Perhaps now he will. Looking to take Dexter Lumis into the corner, but the fact that Paul Heyman took that turnbuckle pad off has just cost Jimmy. He could have got out of this match. I believe he was trying to take Dexter Lumis into the corner. A Thez press. Big right hands, and Jimmy Uso's just been busted wide open. Dexter Lumis with some huge right hands there, busting open the United States champion Joe Gacy heading into this match now. Looked like Jimmy could have been going for a super kick just then, but Joe Gacy was one step ahead. Now sending Joe Gacy into the corner. Big right hand, just misses. And Jimmy Uso going to opt for a tag. Probably a smart decision there. Jimmy Uso, one of the greatest tag team competitors that there's ever been, for the first time teaming up with his brother Solo Sikoa instead of Jey Uso. So used to seeing the Usos, Jimmy and Jey, together. But clearly Roman Reigns has other plans here. Wants Jimmy and Solo to bring home the gold. Solo's feeling it here. But Dexter Lumis takes him into his grasp, and then a Thez Press delivered to the Enforcer. The two powerhouses going head to head into the cover now, but Solo got plenty of fight left in him as well. Now these two locking up in the middle of the ring and into a suplex. Just throwing Solo Sikoa across the ring there. Now brings Solo back to his feet and into a spine buster delivered into the cover now. This one could be all over. Big trouble for Solo Sikoa. Big kick out. On a 2 count, Dexter Lumis can't believe it. Now Dexter Lumis is lining it up here. He's got Solo Sikoa in his grasp. He's locked in that submission hold. He's put so many people to sleep with that hold, but the Enforcer able to find a way out of it. Big right hands to the kidney. And oh my word, Solo Sikoa looking to finish it here. The spike delivered into the cover now for the victory to progress to Crown Jewel. No. Dexter Lumis gets the shoulder up this time. Quick kip up. Big clothesline delivered. Joe Gacy wants to be tagged in, but getting slammed down to the mat is Dexter Lumis. Solo Sikoa with some words for Joe Gacy there. And a huge clothesline takes Dexter Lumis out to the outside. Oh, and Solo just kind of tagged Jimmy in, and it looked like Jimmy didn't really appreciate that, the way that tag was made. But Jimmy takes Joe Gacy off of the apron. Dexter Lumis being sent back into the ring. Big headbutt delivered and into the cover now for the victory. Big kick out needed and big kick out found by Dexter Lumis. Jimmy Uso, another headbutt. Got to feel like this match is coming to a close very soon. But who's going to be the team to come out on top and head to Crown Jewel? We know that the Street Profits, the Hurt Business, have already secured their spot at Crown Jewel. So they'll be watching this one closely to see who comes out on top between these two teams. And Joe Gacy into the cover. Believes that this one could be all over, but no. Big kick out, just at a 1 count again. Jimmy Uso showing his resiliency. Another leg drop delivered and into the cover once more. Just a 1 count again. Jimmy Uso really showing what he's made of. Joe Gacy feeling it here. Headbutt received. Now Jimmy Uso kicked to the midsection DDT. Planting Joe Gacy. And Jimmy Uso playing up to the crowd a little bit here. The confidence oozing through the veins of Jimmy Uso ever since he won that United States Championship. He's really kicked it up another level, and a big elbow delivered to Jimmy Uso there. I believe Joe Gacy could be looking to finish off Jimmy Uso here, slamming him down to the mat. Paul Heyman getting himself involved, which allows Solo Sikoa to get the hot tag and take advantage of the distraction. Joe Gacy's in trouble on the shoulders and hung up on the top rope. Jimmy Uso will need to get out of the ring before he gets disqualified. The referee telling him just now. Now back to his feet is, oh my word, a huge kick delivered by Joe Gacy, but Solo straight back to his feet. As if nothing had even happened. And Solo Sikoa with a back body drop into the cover now for the victory to head to Crown Jewel. Dexter Lumis heading into this one, but Joe Gacy doesn't need him. Well, Jimmy Uso just Kind of watching on inside the ring at the moment, asking Solo if he needs him, and Solo refuses the assistance. Says that he's got this and he'll do it on his own. And Joe Gacy now taking advantage. Maybe he should have used the assistance of Jimmy. Slamming down head first into the mat. Now going for the tag. Joe Gacy tags in Dexter Lumis. And into the Thez press is Dexter Lumis, taking out Solo Sikoa. And a huge knee strike to the head. Now Dexter Lumis, big kick and DDT plants Solo Sikoa. And some more ground and pound, delivering big strikes to the enforcer, looking to wear him out. Could the Bloodline be about to fall to the Asylum? Things aren't looking too good for the Bloodline right now. Oh, a big elbow delivered just as I said that. I think Solo Sikoa heard me. And a huge headbutt delivered, busts open Dexter Lumis. I guess that's a receipt for Jimmy Uso. It's a big gash on the head of Dexter Lumis, but I'm sure that's not going to faze him at all. Big right hand to the midsection by Jimmy. And into the corner they go. Jimmy Uso, big right hands to the jaw. Taking Dexter Lumis down, and Solo Sikoa wants in. Is he going to go for his signature hip attack? He was going to go for Joe Gacy for a second there. He goes instead to put his foot on the throat of Dexter Lumis, just choking him out. And now Jimmy's back into this one. The Bloodline trying to take control of things in this one. Dexter Lumis back to his feet, being dragged towards the corner once again, face first into that turnbuckle. Big kick to the midsection, takes Dexter Lumis down, and now Jimmy Uso the one going to hit the hip attack. Jimmy Uso connecting. Dexter Lumis the one in trouble now, into the cover. Joe Gacy getting involved and manages to break up the pin. I think that Dexter may have needed that assistance, to be honest. Jimmy Uso now heading to the outside, telling the crowd to acknowledge him and the Bloodline. And oh, Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa just bumping into each other for a second there. The chemistry not quite the same between Jimmy and Solo as it is between Jimmy and Jay. Now Jimmy heading into the ring and taking Joe Gacy down. And oh my word, Paul Heyman bringing Dexter Lumis back to his feet. Oh my word, Jimmy Uso crashes and burns. Paul Heyman looking like he wanted Dexter Lumis to get back into the ring. Oh, Paul Heyman's just throwing him back into the ring. It's luckily that the ref didn't call that as a disqualification. Jimmy Uso missed that. Dexter Lumis got the hot tag, but able to stay in control as he was asking the crowd to acknowledge the tribal chief. Just raking on the nose and the eyes there. And Joe Gacy's smart to go outside the ring, but then falls into the grasp of Jimmy Uso. Dexter Lumis not going to fall for that. Jimmy Uso, what's he got planned here? Heading to the top rope, maybe looking for the Uso splash. He's got to be careful though, as Dexter Lumis is looming and into the cover now. Dexter Lumis maybe to save this match. No? Jimmy Uso, no. I thought he had the victory there, but not quite. Dexter Lumis a little bit late there at getting involved. Jimmy Uso heading to the top rope again. He may have been looking for another Uso splash, but Joe Gacy back to his feet. Sent down to the mat once more. Jimmy Uso now with Joe Gacy in his grasp. Taking Joe Gacy into the corner, tagging in Solo Sikoa. And now Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso looking for the double team here. Power bomb delivered. This one could be all over. For the Bloodline to head to WWE Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia, and they've done it. The Bloodline are victorious. And they're one step away from holding all the gold on Friday Night Smackdown. Well, one hell of a victory for them. But I'm sure that's not the last that we'll see of the Asylum. They had an impressive performance here tonight, considering the fact that they're gone up against the Bloodline. But Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso will be facing the Street Profits to determine the inaugural WWE Tag Team Champions. So moving on with the show, and we're moving on to the Queen's Crown tournament. We have the man Becky Lynch in action here tonight, coming up against Asuka. Asuka is one of the few undefeated superstars in this universe mode. We've got a few of them on show today, as Solo Sikoa is still undefeated, as his team picked up the victory earlier on tonight. The Bloodline heading to Crown Jewel, but Becky Lynch and Asuka about to fight it out here to see who can join the Bloodline at Crown Jewel. But Becky Lynch and Asuka are fighting to head to the final of the Crown Jewel, or the final of the Queen's Crown tournament, I should say, which is at Crown Jewel. Charlotte Flair has already secured her ticket, and she's awaiting whoever is victorious in this one. So we could get Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair once again. That would be one hell of a match, but also Asuka versus Charlotte Flair. That would be impressive as well. So two top superstars about to go head to head on Friday Night Smackdown here tonight. So Asuka about to make her way out here. So Asuka has teamed up with Kairi Sane as the Kabuki Warriors. We have yet to see much of Kairi Sane in this universe though, but Asuka has shown her dominance. Kairi Sane is here once again in the corner of the Empress of Tomorrow, so that could cause some issues for Becky Lynch. She caused a bit of a distraction against Jade Cargill. I'm sure Jade Cargill isn't going to be too pleased with the fact that she's out of this tournament without even being pinned or submitted. She was counted out, so I'm not even sure if you can really count that as a loss on her record, to be honest. It's not a clean victory or clean loss in that previous round. So I am quite surprised that Asuka has still progressed in this tournament, to be honest. I'm surprised that Batista didn't decide to maybe go back and make them two have a rematch of some sorts, but I guess that he's too busy preparing himself for the semi-final of the King of the Ring tournament, which is a bit odd to say, seeing as he is the general manager. So Asuka is out here and she's ready to take on the man Becky Lynch. Which one of these two superstars is going to head to Crown Jewel? We're about to find out. The crowd seem to be quite behind Asuka right now. So here we go, the man Becky Lynch going head to head with Asuka. Asuka flying out of the gates, delivering a drop kick to take the man off her feet. Looking for a stomp, but Becky Lynch gets out of the way there. Now big right hands delivered. Becky Lynch is in trouble. She doesn't want to allow Asuka to get too much offense in. Into the corner, Becky Lynch turns things around. Big kick delivered. Now into an exploder suplex there. This one's fast-paced from the get-go, and Kairi Sane already making her presence felt on ringside. She feels that Asuka needs a second to get back on top of things, and that's exactly what she's done. So, if Asuka makes it to the final, you got to think that Kairi Sane is going to be a problem at ringside for Charlotte Flair. And now Asuka, big kick delivered to the man Becky Lynch. Charlotte Flair, I'm sure she's backstage watching closely. Or maybe she's at home because she's not a SmackDown roster superstar, so she probably isn't here tonight. Probably watching closely from wherever she is. Becky Lynch trying to stay on top of things here against Asuka. Now the arm drag delivered. And into the cover, Becky Lynch feels that maybe this is enough, but no, just a 1 count. And Kairi Sane risked it there by reaching into the ring trying to grab Becky Lynch's foot. But luckily for Becky Lynch, she missed, and Becky Lynch now driving Asuka down to the mat. Becky Lynch has been quite impressive, to be honest, in her universe, but she did suffer a loss in that tag team match against a team where Asuka was involved and Kairi Sane, where Tiffany Stratton picked up the victory and earned a contract for Jade Cargill, Tiffany Stratton, Asuka and Kairi Sane. So Asuka kind of has Tiffany to thank for that victory. Otherwise, she probably wouldn't even be in this tournament. But now Asuka looking for the submission. Becky Lynch able to get out of it. We haven't really seen much of Mr. Money in the Bank and Mrs. Money in the Bank in a few weeks, to be honest. They're remaining quiet. LA Knight did send a message to Roman Reigns, though, a few weeks ago, probably about a month ago now, making sure Roman Reigns is well aware of the fact that LA Knight has that briefcase and he has his eyes on the Tribal Chief. And big strikes delivered on the outside now. Asuka getting the upper hand here. Big strikes being delivered. Big right hands. Takes Becky Lynch off her feet, but she's straight back to her feet. Straight back into the grasp of the Empress of Tomorrow. Becky Lynch now trying to get herself back on top of things. Asuka in the grasp of the man, Becky Lynch. She's not going to stay there very long. Big strikes to the midsection. We're on an 8 count now. These two... Asuka could be getting another count-out victory here. She needs to get back in the ring and we've got a draw. Well, what on earth does this mean then? Hold on a second. We got the Animal Batista on the Titantron here. And he says, at Crown Jewel, we're actually going to have a fatal 4-way. What on earth? Jade Cargill has been thrown into the match along with Asuka, Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. So we've got 3 superstars from the SmackDown side of things. I'm sure that Stone Cold is not going to be very happy with that. Yeah, we're going to have a fatal 4-way in the final of the Queen's Crown tournament. So, ladies and gentlemen, moving into our main event of the evening. And we're about to determine the other superstar that will head to WWE Crown Jewel in the King of the Ring tournament. But honestly, I've got to be a little bit concerned for the general manager. Although he's being a bit corrupt by entering himself into this tournament, and especially by wiping out a returning Cody Rhodes, it would have been a shock surprise for the crowd to see Cody Rhodes back so soon after being injured. But Batista made sure that Cody Rhodes stayed out injured and took his place in this tournament. But the reason why I'd be a little bit concerned is because Randy Orton in recent weeks has been a little bit more sadistic. Tried to deliver that punk kick to Roman Reigns a couple of weeks back, but luckily Jey Uso was the saviour for the Tribal Chief. However, we do have to address the fact that Randy Orton and Batista were found backstage having a bit of a discussion. So I wonder what that could lead to. What were they discussing backstage? But you can see in the eyes of the Viper that he has definitely made a bit of a turn. He's not even doing his pose anymore. So it's clear to see what kind of mindset he is in now. Randy Orton, is he gonna... What is the plan here? Because surely there's got to be some kind of plan between Batista and Randy Orton. I'm sure Randy Orton's not going to lie down with the potential opportunity to head to Crown Jewel and earn yourself a title opportunity. So you're going to have to wait and see what happens. But Batista, the general manager of all people, is making his way out here. The first time that we're going to see him making his entrance in his ring gear, as he wiped out Cody Rhodes and didn't actually make a proper entrance on that occasion. But I'm sure he's going to soak all of this in. He's enjoying every minute of this, but the crowd are not. The crowd definitely not behind the animal here right now. As Batista struts his way down to the ring, oozing confidence. Doesn't seem concerned at the fact that he's going up against Randy Orton, especially the sadistic Randy Orton. Batista just going to head into the ring, and we also know that Randy Orton sent a message to Roman Reigns a few weeks ago stating that he's coming after that Undisputed Championship. So there's no way that Randy Orton is going to just allow Batista to head on to Crown Jewel. And why would Batista enter this tournament and then potentially walk out of this tournament himself? It doesn't make any sense. But we're moments away from finding out what is about to happen here tonight. Maybe these two have just come to some sort of agreement that they're going to fight it out and the better man will win and head to Crown Jewel to face Brock Lesnar of all people. So Batista is ready, lying in wake. These two are about to go head to head. Two legends of the business, two previous members of Evolution. Randy Orton seems ready, so does Batista. Let's get this thing underway. So the last King of the Ring semi-final, Batista versus Randy Orton. And what's going on here? Batista just telling Randy, you know what to do. What? Randy got a bit of a blank expression on his face. And hold on a second, what's going on? Why has Randy Orton just slid out of the ring? He just kind of nodded towards Batista. And the referee's telling Randy Orton get back in the ring, but Randy Orton's slowly walking away now, heading towards the ramp. Randy Orton seems like he's leaving this matchup. Well, why? There's a championship opportunity at stake right now. He stopped. Does that mean he's going to come back? Batista has turned his attention to Randy. Randy kind of fighting within himself. An 8 count. He's continuing to walk up the ramp. A 9 count. What on earth have we just seen? Randy Orton just threw away a world title opportunity. And the animal Batista is heading to Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia. What on earth have we just witnessed? Well, we've got one hell of a matchup regardless. We've got the animal Batista going head to head with Brock Lesnar in the final of the King of the Ring tournament. But why on earth would Randy Orton just give up his spot in this tournament? It doesn't make any sense. Well, hopefully we find out the reason why very soon, because I'm so confused.